And we are back, as promised, for our second of our two PLE preview and prediction shows for On the Ring Apron, sister show of Mania Club Foundation for Hope. Again, I'm Steve.
Alyssa.
My name is Kia, for those that don't know. I'm one of the names up there.
Yeah, I was going to say, all our names are down below. If you aren't privy to hearing us, then, you can always just look down there. But either way, we gave our preview to NXT Great American Bash a little while ago. So if you haven't seen it, first of all, why not? We'll wait here while you flip over and go ahead and check out that video. And then when you come back, okay, thanks for doing that for us. Hey, we need all the revenue we can get, so help us out here. Our last one actually ended up getting like 1,400 live views, so it actually wasn't too shabby.
Okay.
We're actually starting to get noticed just a hair. Again, I've always said we're D-list celebrities. We're not gonna make it to the big parties, but we're on the list, damn it.
But one thing I can say is when we go and we do these meet and greets, and I hear you do it, and I heard Alyssa do it yesterday. She's like, and I did it with John Cena, and we tell them about the show at this point. We're like, hey, so
we got plenty of folks that we're gonna see.
We're literally on the internet, on the Ring Apron. Sometimes I'll say I'm 1/3, and there's two more people, but
For those of you in our OTRA universe, if you will, take a listen to Michael Cole as he's doing the announcing and the play-by-play. I guess they all do it. Notice they don't say on the ring apron anymore. They'll say on the apron, or he fell on the apron, or threw her on the apron. I'm pretty sure we're the reason for that. Because you ever notice ever since we got trademarked, or got official trademark, they don't say it anymore because they'd have to start paying us.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad about that. Y'all got some money. Y'all can
Slip up, Michael Cole, slip up.
And now
We just need Pat to go on there like he was when he did the Georgia-Alabama game day. We just need him to get up there drunk as hell and, spout that out a few times. We'll get rich. But either way, of course, we're discussing, the big one that's up here, Evolution, finally back. Honestly, I think it's a few years too late, later than it should have been. But I am glad it's returning. And how about in Atlanta, our home city of all places, to host such a prestigious event? All women's PLE, as Kia, you've said it many, many times, the women's division is where it lives. I've said many times that we have the best women's division in both WWE and in NXT. I firmly believe it's the best division, non-gender specific, in the world. So, I'm definitely looking forward not only to being to see this, but to be able to get to witness all of this in person. I really think the women's card, despite the fact that there wasn't much of a build to it, I do think they're going to show up and show out. I'm looking forward to this.
We are too.
Alyssa, you've said nothing since we got started. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Could you imagine if we went in to actually do our vision, our scene, and everything, and this is what they put up on the screen? Now tell me who's the furthest at the very back.
There you go.
Baby.
All the way in the back.
And
I see
who's
Jacy.
the other flying? Who's the other one flying?
That's Becky Lynch and Bayley.
No, Becky.
Actually, that's Kairi Sane in the top left.
Right. Becky's right out front. The
That's
furthest
Bayley
back,
on the right.
the purple hair, we got that. The
I can
furthest,
see the purple hair. Everybody else.
the furthest back I could see Jacy Jayne. I could see Jordynne Grace. I could see Jada Park. Is that Jada Parker? Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Parker.
I can see
Miss Parker.
Chelsea.
Miss Parker.
Oh my.
And again, and even NXT is going to have an opportunity, and there've even been some discussion that possibly some TNA talent is also going to have an opportunity to be able to compete here as well. So there's definitely going to be a lot of fun things. I think a few surprises as well. But we're going to see them show up and show out. But let's go ahead and get into it. Again, if you want to be a part of it, the link's down below. It'll be more up here in just a moment. But it is our YouTube channel. Just go to the community page, put in your votes. All the polls are live right now, so you can jump in whenever you're ready. But let's go ahead and move into the first match on the card. Eventually. There we go. And it is a fatal four-way match for the, I guess technically they're not vacated yet, but it is for the women's tag team championships. Half of the tag team champions, Liv Morgan, had to give hers up due to the shoulder injury she took a couple of weeks ago. She's expected to be on the shelf for the rest of the year. So a speedy recovery to Liv, we'll miss you on TV, and hopefully you come back stronger and better than ever. In the meantime, though,
right, and the little candles and
oh,
whatnot.
good Lord, I'm not putting a vigil out there like Judgment Day did, and I'm sure, although a cake would be nice. AJ. But either way, Raquel, noting that she needed a partner, and now new Judgment Day member Roxanne Perez stepping in. So this will be her first official defense of the Women's Tag Team Championships. And to make it fair across Evolution, we have one team that will be competing against them from each brand. From SmackDown, we have the unlikely allies of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They even got shirts that said, something like companions by necessity or something like that. Definitely not friends, though. We have Ruca up on the top from NXT. That's the team of Zaria and the now Speed Champion and potentially still NXT Women's North American Champion in Ruca, a chance to potentially become a triple champion by the end of this weekend. And from Monday Night Raw, we have the rebirth of the two-time former women's tag champs in the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka, and the Pirate Princess Kairi Sane. 4 really good teams out here. 2 of them very well established. The other 2 very good in singles competition, but maybe, can be equally as good. They're going to have to prove that they can do it in tag competition. But definitely a good way to start off the Evolution live event for the tag title. So, ladies, take your pick on this one in terms of thoughts, and then we'll get to predictions.
I feel like there's been a few examples of each side, like being established, having that chemistry, knowing each other's moves, and skill set. But you've also had just as many. Damn, coming out the cut. You've also had just as many teams be successful that didn't have the chemistry at first. So I feel, hey, chill out.
Kiddies are down here fighting, so
I feel like it's all just gonna kind of come down to timing. It's all gonna come down to timing and just I don't want to say right place, right time, but.
But how many teams have
the
you?
bottle is to your left if you need it.
How many times have you had tag teams that were not meant to be together? And we could definitely say it for the men's side that were not meant to be together. That came together and actually
Cesaro and Sheamus couldn't stand each other, and they ended up being one of the most famous teams that ever came together.
They ended up learning to like each other and actually turned into a genuine, I like you, you like me, let's go ahead and kick some ass out here, okay?
I want to say Fraxium.
Right.
Fraxium started off like that.
Yeah, so
I mean, we've seen it from the men's perspective that, the teams that are not together, that don't mesh well, usually are the ones that end up doing really well. So when it comes to Roxanne and Raquel, R&R, believe it or not, they may not. Raquel might be like, I don't know. Me and Liv, we click, but Liv's not here, so you need a standings. I don't want to call her a replacement. So you never know. And then the same thing with Charlotte and Alexa. They work better on their own. Like, Alexa can work with others. Charlotte technically could too, but to see this, like, it's not an unlikely pairing to say, as people would think. And let's just see how that works.
We need to have a second camera down there. The entertainment value is just top notch. We could do this and also have cats running around.
Just have a little YouTube for them
Good
playing
Lord.
around.
When you
they get more views than us.
Probably.
When you see Zaria, y'all know what I'm trying to say. And
yeah.
so Ruca, it's just been a long day.
Feel free to wake up. Go get some coffee.
Leave me alone.
It's getting late.
Right,
It ain't time to wake up.
Right. When you see them, it's like, y'all been together for a little hot minute. Y'all done like some social media stuff. That's cute and well. That's all well and cute. Can y'all get in the ring, do what y'all supposed to do what y'all need to do? And then you have the Kabuki Warriors. Like, out of all the teams, the Kabuki Warriors have the most chemistry, and they click on every cylinder. They know each other, because they were together, just them, and then they were together with Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. So it's going to be they know.
And Bayley, she's the one who created
Yeah,
them.
and I did say Bayley.
And then was kicked out.
Right. Treachery afoot.
But we're not talking about that.
We're not. So I feel like, in all aspect, again, long day. Let's just see what they can do. I know where I'm headed. I know where my thoughts will lie, but, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Listen.
I mean, I thought I started it. I'm sorry.
Well, feel free to throw something else in there. Cats stop chasing each other.
No, literally. Throwing my concentration. I mean, honestly, this makes you, like, go between, okay, what are we more confident in? Are we more confident in the chemistry? Are we more confident in the time together? Like, are we just like, hey, bump it? Like, we just want to see new champions. Like, let's get a less established team. Like, I like how you said that the other two teams were good individual competitors that just kind of come together. So, I mean, it's just, what are we looking for? How do we want to move forward in the women's tag team division? I feel like this will be a good way to show us what they're thinking.
Well, certainly,
what their talent is.
Certainly has an opportunity. And we're going to get a chance to see, a lot of different type of fighting styles here as well. You've got Power. You look at that. You've got Zaria, Charlotte, Raquel.
Yeah.
Alexa and Roxanne kind of bring a best of both, kind of a small fury there. Of course, we know Soul, Kairi, Asuka, all of them can fly. So, you also would wonder, though, how much more would, it's also going to be interesting to see, because the one question mark in all of this is Soul Ruca, because she will have already had a match the night before, or the match the day before. So how much more is she going to have left in the tank after she defends her NXT Women's North American title against Izzy Dame? Especially if she takes an L, that potentially kind of hinders momentum for their team, especially when you're trying to become the first NXT team to try to win gold and bring it back to the gold brand since the titles were created. We are going to go ahead and, make our picks here accordingly. Again, if you want to put in your choices, the polls are up right now. You can just go to the YouTube link down below. These numbers that you see over here are what the scores are so far through our 6th season. These are, of course, pending the results of Great American Bash, so the numbers are going to be slightly different, we hope. When all of this is done. I think I only got 1 on the last one, so I didn't do well. So either way, I'm still ahead, the two of y'all, so I'll go first, but then since Kia went first on Great American Bash, we'll let Alyssa go first on this one to kind of keep it even. I'm actually going to stay with Raquel and Roxanne retaining the tag titles here. I think that there's still a build-up for Judgment Day, trying to work to getting, all of the gold within their building, and at the moment they do, but I do believe there's a higher aspiration there, and, I do feel like you need that placeholder in Roxanne as she tries to work the trust factor into Judgment Day. I think originally she was brought in, pardon this, euphemism, but I think Finn brought her in just to dick with Liv and Dom. But at the end of the day, I do think that ultimately she can work hard to earn the respect of Raquel, who right now is the one that's kind of questioning it. I do think that Soul having another match earlier in the week is going to, kind of hamper their abilities to be able to do well. Kabuki Warrior is absolutely strong enough, but they haven't paired together in quite some time, so is there going to be a little bit of rust? And Alexa and Charlotte, again, kind of friends by competition, isn't enough, though, to be able to capture tag team gold. To me, I just think, especially when it comes to Roxanne, she tends to be the person who always seems to find herself in the right place at the right time. And I do think she will be able to score the win here and ultimately earn her stripes with Judgment Day. So I like the champs to retain.
I like the champs to retain, too, literally for the exact same reason. It would solidify her spot, and it would also grind the gears of Liv when she comes back. So,
Finn, you're doing a fantastic job, and you're setting us up for the Liv-Roxanne rivalry through heading into Mania. So I'll be happy.
Will Liv get kicked out? Who get kicked out next?
Because every time someone gets hurt, someone gets booted. Rhea, I mean, you're living proof of this. They'll do it for you. They'll do it to you.
I'm gonna have to go the complete opposite way.
To the stunned shock of no one in this room, because you always go the opposite.
Okay, well.
But which opposite are you going?
You don't have to put me out there like that. And I'm gonna go with the Kabuki Warriors. Just because they have not paired together, it shouldn't matter. It's like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it. You don't forget how to wrestle. You
Unless
don't
you're
forget
me,
how to
who
wrestle
doesn't know
together.
how to ride one.
You don't forget how to wrestle. You don't forget how to team together. You've had good chemistry across the board. You know each other inside and out. And the enthusiasm, the positivity, literally.
Do they explain positive?
The New Day Warriors or something?
You never know. We need to train.
I know how to pick that Trish.
We do, because we saw it when they did it to Bayley. Yeah. But let's keep that where that was. I'm pulling for the Kabuki Warriors. They don't forget how to wrestle. They don't forget how to work together.
That's true.
Ring rust, I don't see. Asuka's been gone. I haven't seen no ring rust on Asuka, but maybe because I took my glasses off, had to clean them and put them back on, and we're gonna say that's all she wrote.
All I know is that you've got a lot of different levels of symbolism here, because we're going to see just exactly how strong Zaria is when you can match her up against someone like Raquel. Ruca has been consistently compared to being the next Charlotte Flair, due to her look, her athleticism, her ability to be able to compete in the ring. And obviously you have similar size comparisons when you have Alexa Bliss and you have Roxanne Perez and even Kairi Sane in that group as well. So, there are a lot of similar factors between a lot of them, but also a lot of differences here. There's definitely going to be a mix and match of, talent in this ring in terms of what's going to happen. And this definitely has all the makings of what could be a match that may potentially steal the show. It's not the top match on the card in terms of the personnel per se, but it's definitely got the capacity to be able to be a great one. Let's keep it going. Let's move into our second match. And this is a triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. These three have been consistently friends, then foes, then friends, then foes, then frenemies, then whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, all three of them have said, let's just put all our cards on the table. We all want to be Intercontinental Champion. One currently is, one has been, and one aspires to be. But it will be the man, Becky Lynch, defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat match against both former champion Lyra Valkyria and four horsewomen competitor and former teammate, now bitter enemy, in Bayley. Now, Bayley and Becky have definitely had their squabbles over the last couple of years. It always seems like as soon as they're on the right foot, the other one tends to step in the way. Ultimately, this all stems back to WrestleMania when Bayley and Lyra reluctantly teamed together, earned a shot at the women's tag titles, and won a gauntlet, ran the table in the gauntlet too to get it, only to have Bayley get mysteriously attacked. Lyra called Becky. They win the tag titles. They lose them the next night, and then Becky turns on Lyra, and you end up finding out, a few weeks later, to the shock of no one, that it ultimately was Becky Lynch that attacked Bayley to start with. But now this has become a little more bitter because Lyra feels like she's kind of being overshadowed by, two legends that are past their prime at this point, and she is the aspiring star that now is here to push the women's division into that next generation. So you're seeing a battle of generational stars in Becky Lynch and Bayley, but then also at the same time, that next generation feels like she's ready for her turn and has earned the right to be in that same spotlight when it comes to Lyra Valkyria.
I'm going to say this. The promos, the in-ring promos, on the mic, and everything else, they have been watchable. They have been worth watching because, of course, I like a good drama. I want to see what you're going to say next.
That's a drama.
I love a good drama.
Love a good drama.
No offense. For me, being me, I want to see what you're about to say.
That means.
I want to see what you're going to say, how you're going to do, how you're going to react, what your face going to look like. Because, a face can tell many stories. But Becky, I can see why she would turn, because Becky doesn't like losing. She doesn't like losing by herself. She doesn't like losing with a partner. So I can see why she turned on Lyra and why Lyra feels like that's a personal shot. Bayley, it's long overdue. Give this girl another title, please. I mean, don't give it to her. Let her work for it. But I think she's worked enough to get her chance. And boy, oh boy, I just want to see how this is going to play out.
Completely agree. Alyssa?
Look. I'm on the opposite side. Like, just because y'all lost doesn't mean to turn on me. I mean, I get it was their heel push. I get it was her heel turn, but, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Like, we could have just duped this junk out in the parking lot and called it a day. We could have been slap fighting. We could have been there.
We've had enough
You're
accidents.
right. My bad. Excuse me. But no, I mean, Becky has been back doing her thing. I absolutely agree with what you said with the promos.
Right.
I think Lyra is absolutely hilarious. But I get where Lyra is coming from. Like, bro, y'all have had y'all's time. Move out of the way. Like, I don't need your hook and crook. We don't need any of that. When you got to resort to hook and crook, step aside. Let natural talent take its place, please. Not step aside, because I mean, it's Becky and Bayley. But, I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, if you got to resort to hook and crook, baby, go find a cane or something. Like, come on.
Well, each of them, are just trying to establish, exactly what it is, and they know the significance of this championship
That's
now
true.
Because obviously the men's version of the Intercontinental Championship has such a long and prestigious history. They want the women's version of it to be just as strong. You'll notice that out of the two mid-card titles, this is the one being defended at Evolution. The U.S. Championship is being defended on SmackDown the night before, or 2 nights before, when Julia will defend against former champion Zelina Vega. However, it is the Intercontinental Championship that's getting the spotlight at Evolution with 2, let's call it first ballot Hall of Famers, and a very potential future Hall of Famer in Lyra Valkyria.
That girl keeps in that trajectory that she's there. She'll be there.
And I tell you one thing, for anybody who has said that maybe Lyra was maybe called up a little too early or a little too things, promo-wise, she has absolutely stayed with the best. I mean, she can hang with the best that they've got. She absolutely has stepped up, and some people, they call, the iron sharpens iron, and sometimes pressure makes diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
Lyra is very quickly turning into one of those diamonds, and I really feel like this is something that if she doesn't win back the championship here, you wonder is maybe, maybe moving more towards tag or world, or maybe even potential world title picture might be what's up next. But let's go and move to our official selections. Alyssa, you're up first on this one.
For this one, I don't know. I feel like Becky is one of those people that she doesn't lose in multi-people matches. So I'm going to go for her to retain.
Becky retains.
I think so.
Kia?
I'm going to say Bayley. I'd like to see Bayley take the title off Becky. I want to see Becky get to where Seth was a couple of years back. I want her.
Are you talking about Seth, or are we talking about going back to crazy Becky when she got her hair cut and jumped?
Oh Lord, not that crazy.
I want that. But I want it to where, Seth was poking out people's eyeballs. I want that level of Becky.
Pandemic era was wild. I find a way to say that at least once every time. But you go back and watch some of those episodes. It was crazy.
I want her to hit rock bottom. I want her to hit the pavement. Smack and come back up.
And you think Bayley beating her would do that more than Lyra would?
You have to think, her and Bayley and Becky kind of were... They were together. They were like 4 horsemen, and Bayley knows her. I mean, Lyra pushes her buttons and does what she needs to do. But if you look at it, Sasha's no longer here to prove that she's the boss because she's the CEO on the other brand. Charlotte is already in a tag title match. And Lyra, I feel like Lyra's great. She's pushing all those buttons, but you have to think, they have chemistry. Bayley is going to know how to hit her and where to hit her word-wise. She's not saying it now, but she's going to do it. She's going to say something, or she's going to show it in the fight or the wrestling match, and it's going to send Becky spiraling. That's what I want to see. I love her, but I want to see her hit rock bottom, come back up, and I want Bayley to talk shit every step of the way.
All right. Well, this will be actually one of our fun ones because this will be one of the very rare times in which we're all going to go a different direction. Because I'm going to take Lyra Valkyria. Honestly,
Shocked
I
no
think.
one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, we're seeing her. We're seeing her this week. Again, we talked about it at Great American Bash. Photo ops, all over the place. Surprisingly, no one from the tag team title match earlier, Sol Ruca, was on our list, but then she had to cancel earlier today, so she's had to drop out. But we will be seeing Lyra. This will be our second time seeing her. But opportunities there. Honestly, Evolution is supposed to be just that. Becky was the huge name when Evolution 1 happened 7 years ago. Now, you look at it, and now Evolution is just literally that. You want to see that next step. You want to see how far have we come in 7 years. And I think what you have put in this matchup is the old guard that is not only just Becky Lynch, but also Bayley as well, against the new guard ready to come in and take, no pun intended, the wings of the company, and that being of Lyra. And I do feel like this is the perfect moment to establish Lyra as the future face of the women's division on the main roster. I'm not saying she's going to be the biggest name on the card, but you are going to be able to use this as that stepping stone to build her to that next step. I do think she's going to have to eventually deal with Bayley at some point. And then, of course, Becky won't go out quietly. But the betting odds are probably in Becky's favor. But I like Lyra. I do think they establish her as the next star.
But also, if you think Evolution, you think Evolve. Who better to have evolved than Bayley, from coming in and being Hugger Bayley up to role model Bayley to face to heel to tag to making a title run? Who better to take the title off of Becky?
I just feel like, there's one person who's put the lineage in that Intercontinental, the women's version of it so far, and that's been Lyra. No disrespect to what Becky has done. I mean, there's only been 2 champions so far, so, there's not a ton of lineage to talk about. The question is, Bayley, is she going to be able to use this as the step? And also, of course, remembering that the result of this is what's going to directly lead into the SummerSlam storyline as well. So it'll be interesting to see, who potentially finds their way out of the, SummerSlam story, because it's doubtful this is going to go in a way that's going to lead to all 3 of them still being in the picture when we talk in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into our third match on the card, this is our interesting one because this is our one opportunity at a 5-pointer because we will be having an Evolution Battle Royal. Because of the fact that only a handful of people have declared themselves in, but essentially every non-champion female is eligible to be able to compete in this Battle Royal. Of course, over the top rope, both feet touch the floor, everybody starts in the ring at once. Last woman standing gets a World Championship match at Clash in Paris at the end of August. So this will be the PLE directly following SummerSlam. And you look at all the endless possibilities. You've got Tiffany facing Trish. You've got Jade and Tiffany facing each other later on. You've got Io and Rhea facing each other at Evolution. The winner of that one has, obviously a challenge sitting in front of them at SummerSlam. Naomi still sitting there with Money in the Bank. So, a lot of endless possibilities as to where you go with this. And considering people from any of the respective brands, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and even potentially TNA, could be able to come over here and compete in this Battle Royal. So this one, of course, worth 5 points because it could be literally anybody, past, present, legend, future, whatever. So really just a quick synopsis of, why this is here, because, let's call it what it is. This is the way to get every woman on the card, to find a way to get all of them on the card. But realistically, I think we each in our minds only have a handful of people that we think are going to legitimately win, especially with a world title shot at a international PLE coming up. So, just one of you take the wheel and, give your thoughts. Well, NXT has declared their 6 people. I know Zaria's in it, Kalani Jordan's in it, Jada Parker's in it, Blake Monroe's going to be in it. There were a couple of other names as well. I believe that assuming she can, right, Nikki Bella is going to compete in it. If she's able to go after her tag match, Alexa Bliss said she's going to be in. I think Charlotte's going to be in. So, essentially, the idea was supposed to be, according to the ruling, that Aldis and Pierce both came up with, as long as they are not holding a singles championship at this time. So I guess that would potentially eliminate maybe Sol Ruca, and also I guess it would come down to what matches happened before this one. If this is the first match on the card, then, completely different. But basically any non-champion is eligible to be able to compete.
There's not really much you can say. Good luck, everyone, and
may the best lady win.
May the odds ever. Never mind.
I think that movie's been out long enough. I think we can get away with that one.
Oh, okay. Well, I forgot how. So
may the odds be
ever in your favor.
Yeah, let me shut.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's been over. I think it's been 11 years. I'm pretty sure that's fair cap at this point. Fair use at this point.
I mean, a lot of people that, like you said, you could see a lot of strong females competitors. Again, best women's division that we have, honestly, across the board. But you also have to think, and you have to, who is going to be winded? Who has previous matches? Who's going to be winded? Who's going to come in and be like, but who's also going to have been in a Thank you, Cody Rhodes. Excuse me, and our instructor, didn't catch her name. Who's going to come in from another match and be as fresh as a daisy and be like, okay, I had this other match, but guess what? I'm about to take all you.
Take care of my future.
Right. Honestly, if I'm going to say it with all it is, Roxanne has been in everything else and has literally beat everyone across the board.
Yeah, so why not one more?
Why not one more?
Roxy's been the person that has been one step away from winning just about everything.
Pretty much.
If Liv was here, that would be Liv. But
yeah,
because she's been one wrong,
But as soon as you push her over that threshold, they're gonna push that strong.
Yeah. The difference between Liv and Roxanne can do it by herself.
And you also look at the possibilities of, all the different things, because you are correct that fatigue definitely plays a role if you had a match earlier in the night. But then you also look at some people who are not on the card, a la Nia Jax, a la potentially Bianca Belair, potentially, Io I guess can't compete. But, you look at, some people with power there. Piper Niven, absolutely, has the power to be able to win a match like this. And then, of course, you've got the possibility of, a TNA surprise, does potentially someone like a Masha Slamovic, potentially come over and, have an opportunity to be able to win a match like this, because she's not a WWE World Champion. She's the Knockouts Champion.
Technicalities.
It all goes down to it. And then do you maybe shock everybody, very similar to what they did with Corbin at WrestleMania a bunch of years ago, and do you shock with an NXT person, getting that huge push and being able to, catapult themselves to the main roster, not just like that, but also you give them several weeks to build up through, the last of their storyline in NXT prior to coming up to the main roster, and immediately you head to Paris for a world title shot. I mean, talk about a great way to be able to push yourself to the max. But in the end, again, this is a 5-point selection, but you only get one. It's unlike the Royal Rumble where we can, each take a number as well. So, it unfortunately doesn't work that way. So an opportunity for us to maybe make up some ground or fall further behind, I suppose. Kia, you're up first on this one. So who do we got?
I'm taking Roxanne.
Roxanne Perez, all right.
Because we literally have seen her go in, do other matches, go in, fight in another fight, and I don't see her being winded. I see her coming out as fresh as a daisy, being like, I'm here, bitches. Let's go ahead and do what we got to do. Roxanne.
Interesting twist, though. What if the roles are reversed? What if the Battle Royal's first, and Roxanne goes out there and wins, but then all of a sudden, in effect, cost Judgment Day the tag titles? How is Roxanne viewed in that instance? So, or worse, what happens if she goes out here, competes, ends up last one eliminated, and then her fatigue costs them the tag titles, and then she comes back with nothing. You know, definitely opens up some doors. But Roxanne Perez, I like that one. I am, I've considered a couple of names coming over from NXT. You know, I thought about potentially someone like a Jada Parker who could absolutely carry, a match right from the beginning. But I'm going to go with, I think, what is going to ultimately be a popular choice. The other option I had potentially was Bianca Belair, but we don't know if she's going to be back for this one or not. So I'm going to go with Stephanie Vaquer.
Damn it,
And
Steven,
you damn well knew where I was going.
Y'all see me looking at him like, you better not.
You already know I'm going to. Vaquer is the one who you just feel like is on the brink of getting that push, and if you give her 9 weeks of prep to be able to get herself over, because she's already one of the most over women on the roster, and a very surprising play that when you look at the entire Evolution PLE and technically the entire weekend, she's nowhere to be found, and that's a surprise considering the star power she comes with. She's not even in the poster. So, it's just you wonder where, that's, where it lies. But I feel like she's the popular pick. I think it'd be real easy to go with a Nia Jax and then let Nia sit there and run her mouth for 8 weeks.
No,
Whatnot.
Thank you.
And they could pull a shocker and have Bianca come back and basically mow through everybody. Of course, I've also been hearing, rumor about potentially Ronda Rousey coming back and, winning the whole damn thing.
Fuck no.
Speaking of which, sidebar,
Sorry.
did y'all hear about, before you get to your pick, although I guess you already made it, Shayna Baszler's back as a producer. She did the Laney Reed-Kalani Jordynne match on NXT this last Tuesday, and it was fantastic.
Congratulations.
So I'm glad to see they're finding a way to bring her back in some capacity, and she's going to try to be a match producer.
Oh, that's great.
So good for her.
I'm happy for her.
All right, but yeah, Stephanie Vaquer for me.
She gonna wait till you sleep. She gonna take you
Oh,
out
please.
then.
As many times as she's done it to me.
Pull up my daggone binoculars and try and figure out if there's anybody else I would trust with this pick. I bump it. We both can get 5 wins. Stephanie Vaquer!
I mean, to me, it just seems like the popular choice. I think that's a person.
I
Because you
thought I
also
was
have
about
to.
to eat y'all up with that.
Yeah.
I said, and then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, we got the same brain. He gonna think it too, and I was like, shit.
Well, again, now let me go ahead and make it very clear. If Bianca Belair had been declared,
Oh yeah, then
Bianca
she'd
would have been
choice.
my choice without even a question. However,
She's
I
not
don't know
declared.
if she's going to be in it. She's on the poster, but also this poster was made a couple of weeks ago. Also an interesting little twist there because I just happened to see it over in the corner. First ever makeup line as a sponsor for WWE. Maybelline is now the official makeup partner for WWE now. So that's actually a nice little play, especially with Evolution, the all women's live event. So we're actually going to see Maybelline across the rings for our sponsorship. But either way, I do wish everybody the best. Again, this is the match that gets everybody on the card.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get a chance to have an opportunity to make some stars shine. You could see people maybe like Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, Kalani Jordynne, Jada Parker, Zaria have a chance to go up against main roster talent and have a chance to show off what they can do.
Now, excuse me, Alyssa made some good chicken nuggets today.
I was going to say she chose to eat during a show, but I've had those nuggets. They're good. This woman can cook.
What if we...
You didn't hear that, did you?
No.
What if
We need to pop her in the back of the head. That's like 5 what ifs from her.
No, that's what we need to keep. What if we have someone come back that we're not expecting, who's not signed, who's not doing anything,
Ronda Rousey.
Hell no. Let me do the Chris Brown. No.
Hell no.
I'm thinking Paige. She's not signed to anything. She's not signed. There's no contract. And we know that she's going to show up and she's going to claim the stage like she never left.
I'll tell you one thing. That would be an immediate push. Now, it's going to be interesting because she's supposed to have a meet and greet in the morning in Arizona earlier that day. But I could absolutely see them flying her back, very quickly, and her being rushed in at the last second.
It's Edge. He will do what he has to.
Well, it definitely would be a swerve, very similar to the Hardys at 33 a couple of years ago.
But that's just my prediction.
We'll let you enjoy the rest of that chicken while I preview the next one. But let's move into our next one. This is yet another championship match. This one coming over from NXT. So even our gold brand champions getting an opportunity to show up and show out here. Both of them will have had a tag team match the previous day at Great American Bash. But this one is not only for the NXT Women's Championship, but also will be granted an opportunity 2 weeks later to also get a shot at the TNA Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary against Masha Slamovic, with both titles on the line. Current NXT Women's Champion Jacy Jayne and challenger Jordynne Grace will go head-to-head here, again, having already had a match under their belt for the weekend with them competing at Great American Bash the night before. It's going to be curious to see who has momentum, and also did anyone sustain any injuries, who's winded, or who still has something left in the tank. We obviously know, Jordynne is built like a machine, so, I don't think stamina-wise is going to be much issue, but also Jacy has proven that she can be very cunning and foxy in her own right as well. Also got to consider the possibility of, Fatal Influence still being somewhere nearby. I don't know how much Blake Monroe would potentially try to help Jordynne in this instance, especially if Blake is focused on trying to win the Battle Royal, because that was another name that popped up. But this is, again, for the top of the NXT Women's Division. People argue it's the best women's division in the world. And, of course, a spot at Slammiversary also on the line. So where are we thinking on this one?
Well, all I'm going to say, I'm not trying to be a hater, is Jordynne. This is like try number 3. Third time need to be the charm, babe. That's what I'm going to say. But, no, in all seriousness, like we said in our other show, Jacy has done everything you've asked her to do. That girl has done factions. She's had her little run on her own. She's kicked Gigi through that door. She has...
Poor door.
Not even poor Gigi. That's crazy.
Hey, Gigi got back up. Gigi got back up.
She went. She saved Chase U. Created a whole calendar for them. Turned on them. Crazy work. And
yeah, she's going to do what she needs to do.
Yeah, and even came into another new faction and brought other people up with her. So, I mean, there's no shock. And again, we can reiterate, there was no shock that she is a world champion right now. We were just shocked at who it came from.
Right. We're not shocked that she's champion. Right. We're shocked at who she beat to get it.
Because, again, she has put in the time. She has done to the letter everything you have asked her to do. And you don't really ever hear her in trouble either. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's her. When it comes to Jordynne, I feel like we keep on seeing her in the main title picture, especially in NXT, in the main title picture, but like always vying for this title, but always being one step short or having one person come out and mess her up. So we'll see what we do with this.
The one thing I'm concerned about, though, is because of the fact that the match at Slammiversary, now is directly affected by the winner of this match, barring that Naomi, for some reason, wants to cash in on the NXT Women's title. Not far-fetched, considering she's faced Masha and Jordynne herself, when she was in TNA. But at the same time, you look at this and you're like, Jordynne Grace is going to go from the woman who can't get it done to now possibly being a 2-promotion champion, but then also flip to the other side, like, are you really going to have Jordynne Grace win the title just to be the one to lose it back to?
Literally.
Because remember, it was Masha that beat Jordynne when Jordynne left to win the Knockouts Championship in the first place.
Maybe that's fuel.
So,
Maybe
exactly. So I do feel like Jacy is the one that's kind of the wild card in all of this. But, I mean, also, and I said it in the Great American Bash preview, just keep underestimating her. She is pleading for you to keep picking against her. Because every time you think she's done, she rises from the ashes like a phoenix and just does even bigger and better. And I think that no one believes that she can beat Jordynne Grace. And then even if by some miracle she pulls it off, no one believes she can beat Masha. Well, what happens if 3 weeks from now we're looking at Jacy Jayne as both NXT Women's Champion and TNA Knockouts Champion simultaneously?
Boy,
I
she will
imagine
never stop
that.
talking. She will never stop running her mouth. She will go on and on and
You
on.
thought Mandy Rose talked a lot of smack.
Right.
A lot of smack. But either way, I mean, this one, has the capability of being one of the better matches on the card for the technical aspect of it. Not necessarily for the appeal of who the characters are, but if you are just a fan of just great women's wrestling, this is absolutely a great match to pay attention to. I'm up first, right? On this one. I'm gonna be the odd one here. I'm sorry. Jordynne to me just isn't getting it done, and I just can't see. I know it's real easy to pick Jordynne Grace right now because it would set up an easier match. But with respects, we've seen Jordynne Grace and Masha before. We've actually seen it multiple times. It doesn't. The whole reason Jordynne came to NXT was because she wanted to face different competitions, and now in TNA's biggest show of the year, you're going to have her rematch against a person that she already has faced against and lost. Doesn't make much sense to me. I honestly think that, you could maybe end up with something that maybe leads to that being a triple threat, where that way it's potentially possible that someone could win a title without having to give both of them to somebody. But we'll see how it pans out. But I'm going to find a way for Jacy Jayne to somehow snake her way out of this. Fatal Influence, no doubt, will come into play. But I think Jacy Jayne's going to shock the world again, and I think she walks out still as the champion.
This is her first defense. Who'd she defend first?
Well, she defended a couple of weeks ago on NXT, and yes, she crooked that one as well.
Yes,
I think it was Laney Reed.
I'm sorry. Let me chill.
No quarter whatsoever.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I really do. Where it's like, okay. But, I feel like it's going to be like this. I feel like in my brain, it's like if Jacy wins, I feel like they'll flip it and she'll be the one who gives it up. And I feel like if Jordynne wins, they'll use that momentum of her losing from her and she'll be the double champ. So it's like, which way do I lean? I don't know.
So you can lean to the left, or you can lean to the right. There's only 2 ways to go.
Kidding.
A little jokey joke.
This is a gut pick. I really... Honestly, I'm rooting for the ref.
Rah.
Bring out those lady refs.
Go Jessica, go Daphne.
Yay, go lady refs.
Go new blonde from NXT. I don't know her name yet.
Dante, I'll take Jacy. I don't think about this one.
Jason. All right.
Yeah.
Kim?
Jordynne have been doing
I've had time to think about it. Now that you gave me that little nugget for Jordynne losing to Masha.
Easy nuggets, by the way.
Speaking of nuggets.
Losing to Masha. Y'all gonna go back, y'all gonna look at this video, and y'all gonna be like, this bitch right here, didn't she just say she wasn't a Jordynne fan?
Swear to God. We'll dog her the whole first show.
Dogged her for the entire Great American Bash show, but then it's going to pick her.
Can't get behind it.
Hey, give him that camera.
I'm gonna say Jordynne.
Jordynne Grace.
Right.
With great hesitancy.
Because y'all
And we'll say that.
Y'all know I like me some Jacy Jayne. And it's a nice render.
The bangs are doing it for her. I like it. Some people can't pull off bangs. Jordynne cannot pull off bangs. Jacy can.
Alyssa cannot either. It's
we
okay,
she did.
we understand.
And I sure as hell can't. But then again, I don't sport any hair at all.
Yeah, Yeah. She gonna be the one. And that first show, where you just
if Jacy retains, you're gonna be like, damn it! I knew I should have gone with my.
That little girl was that little girl, on TikTok.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Jordynne.
If this was on NXT instead of a PLE, I could have easily seen Fatal Influence disqualifying. Yeah. Jordynne gets the win, but Jacy retains.
Yeah.
And maybe it opens up the door to that triple threat. And I mean, they could still do it. I just find it really hard to believe that they would do it at Evolution.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tricky here. But either way, we've got our picks in here. Let us continue forward. What is the first of our 2 world title matches? And maybe a little bit of a shock in terms of who we're seeing in this match, but it's definitely Blonde Past versus Blonde Future, as the 2 basically WWE Barbies will now go head to head, as current WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton has handpicked her challenger. She wants the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus at Evolution. Now, Trish, of course, at Evolution 7 years ago, battled another, you wouldn't believe you'd see it, when she did face Charlotte Flair and lost by tap out. So, but this will actually be Trish's first opportunity at a singles championship in 18 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. But, I mean, Landon was a baby the last time Trish went for a women's championship. So that should tell you something, and he just graduated high school. But Tiffany Stratton asked for this match, wanted this match, and she got it. And now we'll have an opportunity to see just what the WWE Hall of Famer has in her quest to try to win an unprecedented 8th women's championship in her career. Would somebody like to go deal with them? Because apparently they're going to continue to try to kill each other. We have cats fighting in the kitchen.
I was about to say, you can put Leo in the laundry room. Because we all know that's he's the one instigating.
And he knows it too, which is why he's running like crazy. Oh, gracious, hang on.
No, it's fine.
All right, and I guess we'll find out if the pause function worked on this when I go back and watch over all this and do the edits, because we had to go handle our critters. They decided they wanted to bicker with each other, so we had to go deal with them. But as I was saying, Trish trying to go for an unprecedented 8th women's championship. Tiffany Stratton trying to prove, once and for all, adding another feather in that cap. That is what has been a fantastic first world championship run for Tiffany. You beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. You have successful defenses twice over Nia Jax. And now you are going to face Trish, in absolute classic match, I hope. Most people, argue that she's the greatest champion of all time. I think, potentially Charlotte might have something to say about that, when she's all said and done. But Tiffany aspires to be at Trish's level and potentially be able to do it at such a younger age. You got to think, Tiffany's only in her early 20s, and look at already what she has accomplished in WWE with the best years still in front of her. So I'm looking forward to this one.
I was going to say, I have to tip my cap at Tiffany, because she, like Lyra, has come in and been right there in the Royal Rumble, been right there as a Miss Money in the Bank, has come in and has said, all right, I'm going to step to this top level, and I'm going to show you why I'm the best. And then I think I like most her rap sheet. Mm-hmm. She's not just going after she's not just defending against easy competition. You don't see her out here defending against I'm not finna do no name drops, but easy competition. She's going up against Charlotte Flair. She's going up. She's saying, oh, y'all say these are the best? No problem, run it. I want these matches.
For as much praise as we've given Roxanne Perez for the run she got, Tiffany did it first.
Literally.
Tiffany got thrown to the wolves. Her first match on the main roster was the Elimination Chamber. Against five others of the best for a spot at WrestleMania, and there were a lot of people that felt Tiffany should have got it. They threw her to the top right at the beginning, and You know,
Baby has had development. That is one thing you could say about her.
Long way from being daddy's little princess.
Oh yeah.
But she absolutely got the talent to back it up, though, and she definitely has made a believer out of me for sure.
Sorry, that was loud. Anyway, my opinion.
Put this mask on and come whoop your ass.
I hope Peter doesn't watch this episode. Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm just looking
at. Put a little thing at the bottom. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast.
They're trying to eat our food.
I'm looking at the fact. You're right. She is literally going up against a goat, the female goat, and she's not sitting here. Oh no! Don't take it easy on me. Don't do this. Don't do that. I want to show everybody I am the best of the best. So in order to be the best of the best, I've got to compete with the best. And the fact that she called Trish and she said, "Let's do this thing," and Trish accepted. Let's do this thing. Of course, they gonna run it back, and they gonna run it forward, and they gonna run it back again. I can just see it, being what it's gonna be. But I don't think we have to list out all of Trish's accolades. I think they speak for themselves. She is who she is.
She's already got the Hall of Fame ring. We don't even have to worry about it. Is she a first balloter? She's already was a first balloter.
She already was. I feel like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I like the fact that Tiffany has come in, or excuse me, Tiffany has come in. She has done the damn thing from NXT all the way up to now, and she's going to keep going, and she's going to proceed, and she's going to. I don't know what else you want me to really say. I mean, she went from Daddy's Girl to different themes, to different outfits, to saying, "Watch this, I got this."
And both have already had their opportunities to have their interactions with the number one contender to the winner of this match. That, of course, being the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill, who is waiting for the winner of this match at SummerSlam just a couple of weeks from now. So there is definitely going to be a very vested interest for Jade in terms of who comes out the winner of this match and who would fare better against someone with the strength of Cargill, because while Tiffany does have a lot of, accolades and a lot of premier behind her, very similar to Cargill, she doesn't have a ton of experience. Meanwhile, Trish can write a book on experience. Trish has forgotten more matches than Tiffany has wrestled. She wrote the book on this. Her and Lita, could tell story after story, and you'd sit there for hours just listening. And I really think it would be something for Tiffany to give an opportunity to Trish, and Trish take full advantage of it, especially with the fact that Trish is over double Tiffany's age. Do not let the fact that she's nearly 50, fool you for a moment. She has kept herself in immaculate shape during her time. Owning a yoga studio helps. So, bravo to Trish, and bravo for the opportunity to be able to once again represent the history of the women's at such a prestigious event. Let you get last thoughts in here, and then Alyssa, you're up first.
I am?
This is the 5th match on the card. I was up first on the last one, so yes, that would be you.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna take Tiffany.
Well, why would you hate it?
I mean, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just pooping on women's history.
I don't think it's so much I think you're promoting it here.
I think your analysis on Evolution and looking at the future and how far we've come definitely plays a role in this match, especially. Because, yes, Trish got it all started, but now we're going to kind of see what the future kind of holds. So I like Tiffany to win, and that is no disrespect at Trish and what she's done.
Yeah.
I mean, with all respect, if you think back, unless you're probably going to do your research, it's better than the Divas title or the Divas era, or giving Divas a chance is where this stems from. All the give Divas a chance. Now it's evolved. Now it's Evolution. Then it was the Mae Young Classic, and now it's back to Evolution again. You're not pooping on Trish's career. You're just saying, hey, you're pretty much doing what I did with the give Divas a chance. You're getting a person who has literally come in here and busted her butt, day in and day out, you're pushing her to the next, I guess, echelon. You're pushing her to be the next Trish.
Girl,
So with all
she's doing
respect,
her thing.
I feel like it's a form of flattery. For me, I love Trish. We all know that she was one of my 2 favorite women outside of Lita. And it's nothing against what she's doing. She comes in, she does her thing, and then she's gone. So I feel like if the title is going to stay, or if this match is going to be what it's going to be, we're going to need to see a face that's here day in, day out, putting in the work, putting in the effort, making it look good in pink, and I'm going to have to pull for Tiffany time.
Now, I do have one swerve that I potentially could see in this particular one. I don't think they're going to pull it. I think there's a bigger plan in works here. But I agree with, the analogy that, this is evolution, and it's also honoring exactly Tiffany Stratton is here because of things that Trish Stratus did in this ring, and I think she's even said it on WWE television programming before that, you are the reason I'm here. You are the reason why I aspired to do something like this, and now representing, holding the same championship that Trish made famous, now in that, viewing herself in that same light. But Evolution, just very similar to what we saw 7 years ago when we saw Trish face Charlotte Flair. It's the opportunity to see the 1 in a million match. The matches of, like, you don't have to sit here and wonder, like, well, what happened if Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus ever faced each other? But there's no reasonable storyline that you could put together where that would happen except here. And now you get an opportunity for Trish to be able to show you that, just because I'm maybe the old guard against the new guard, I'm not as far gone as you think. Don't underestimate the fact that just because you're far younger than me, I've got more experience than you've got years on you, honey. So, I will definitely say that Trish, especially if this is potentially it for her, I'm very excited upon the fact that we're going to get to see Trish wrestle potentially one last time. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it because that's who I grew up on. You now look at, the new stars. I'm going to take Tiffany Stratton just because of the fact that, storyline-wise it makes sense. But I will go ahead and put the swerve in the air. Trish wins. Trish gets attacked by somebody. Naomi cashes in. Jade Cargill's waiting next.
Well, here's how.
And immediately SummerSlam's main event becomes Jade Cargill and Naomi for the women's championship.
Let me put one better in the air for you since you decided to make it swerve. Lita comes out of nowhere. Remember, I still got that give back. You remember you took me out of commission? Oh, let me go ahead and do that for you right now.
That link back's still there.
Yeah, this is your receipt. There we go.
Well, speaking of Jade Cargill and Naomi, since we happen to mention them, they're actually who we're going to be discussing next, as they will be battling each other in a no-holds-barred match. The only match on the card that has, technically, I guess the Fatal 4-Way and the Triple Threat, I guess, would have no disqualifications, but this is the only one where basically anything goes. Now, the two of them have already faced each other at WrestleMania earlier this year. It's where Naomi officially debuted her Proceed with Caution persona. Jade Cargill did ultimately go over Naomi that night. And since then, even though they have been on parallel yet slightly different storylines, both have found great success in their own separate storylines. Naomi ultimately won Money in the Bank and has been consistently a thorn in Jade Cargill's side every step of the way. But despite the fact that she has been in Jade's side, Jade managed to shock the world by running the table and ultimately defeating a 4-time women's champion in Asuka in Saudi Arabia to win the Queen of the Ring title, something that I think is built for someone very similar to Jade Cargill. So as a result, Cargill is now guaranteed not only the right to be called Queen of the Ring for the rest of her career, but also at the same time has earned herself a WWE Women's Championship match against whoever the women's champion is, whether that is Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus, or potentially Naomi as well when you get to SummerSlam in August. But there's no mystery to this one. These two women have had it out for each other ever since Naomi threw Jade through a car window and ultimately took over her tag team reign going back to last October. So This has all the makings of a bloodbath, and I am all here for it. At least we'll get to see them both dolled up and pretty at their photo ops before they beat the snot out of each other on Sunday night.
Yeah.
But suffice to say, you know, anybody who knows me in any form or fashion, this is where my ass will be firmly planted at the front of my seat, and don't talk to me. So this is the match I'm coming for.
What did you? First of all,
Need some water.
y'all know I'm all about female empowerment. Let's take it a step further. Black women facing head to head, and I hate that it had to be like this, that it had to happen.
Is this gonna be it be your own people moment?
Let it cook. I just hate the fact that it had to come to this, where Naomi felt like she's been overlooked, pushed aside, unappreciated, and I know one or both of you have said it in past our podcast or show or whatever. Jade was the wrong person, wrong time type deal, and so now she's the one having to take the brunt of it. But baby, when I say she's taking the brunt of this, she's doing it like a G, because she has said, you know what, that's fine. You took me out. I now know it's you. You've put it out there that it's been you. I've known it. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to get you, since you already got me. And we're gonna run it back, Turbo. Let's go. But also, when it comes to Naomi, I'm loving, because you remember her first run, doing the whole bad girl thing. She had no confidence. It was just, she wasn't feeling it. She did not like it. She even said it on Total Divas. I'm nervous. And Jimmy had to be the one to say, you got this. Mm-hmm. There was nobody having to get in her ear. She literally flipped the script. Oh, y'all want to
She's eating this one alive.
Y'all gonna screw me over again? All right, everybody, proceed with caution.
And anybody who, if you go back and look through our things, I have a show that I do from time to time called The Contrarian, and the very first episode I did was the reason why Naomi's turn on Jade Cargill actually made sense, and why I believe that Naomi is ultimately the one who is the true victim in all of this. And while most people would be wondering, well, how on earth can you say that when it's Jade that got thrown through the window? Well, go back and watch, and I think I make a lot of sense in terms of exactly why I believe that Naomi is truly the one who's the real victim in all of that.
Like I said, it comes full circle. Naomi is literally eating this character alive. She's giving it. Literally, she took that scared, I don't want to do this mentality and said, you know what, we're gonna flip it this time. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and y'all are not going to see it coming whatsoever.
Proceed with caution.
Really, she is doing it, and that's probably going to be what I tell her when we see her in person.
Girl, this has been one of my favorite beefs. I don't care. They have had me laughing the entire time. Regardless if it's on TV, online, in social media.
Right.
Oh, Naomi is eating alive social media too, and Jade's getting her shots back too. So,
like, the beef is absolutely hilarious to me.
What, did they inherit the beef?
Huh?
Did they inherit the beef?
Girl, actually, it's not even. It's diabolical. I had to take one from Addison. It's diabolical. Them going back and forth, it feels like one of those, like, good rivalries where you feel like they don't like each other for real. Like they trip me out. I mean, from a match standpoint, I look forward to this one too, because, you know, they got receipts for each other.
No, for real.
Oh yeah.
They
both have multiple receipts for each other.
They got beefs for each other. So it's like, okay, you know, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see this Naomi finally getting her hands on who she wants to get her hands on.
Because you got to think Naomi had just debuted
the
the Proceed with Caution at Mania. And for those of you who went back and watched it, and most people say, you know, and even I can reluctantly agree with it, it was a rather lackluster match in comparison to the rest of the card. However, Naomi controlled 90% of that match. She made a single mistake. And against someone with the strength of Jade Cargill, as we've seen so many times with someone like Nia Jax or Charlotte, one mistake's all it takes, for someone with that kind of power to be able to turn the tables on you. And also, we can't ignore the fact that Bianca Belair is still that wild card sitting in all of this. She's been nowhere to be found. She has not officially picked a side. She's told Naomi off, and yet they're still talking on social media, still talking about, we need to get outfits together and everything else. So you're not sure if maybe she's fully ready to put Naomi in the rearview mirror yet, no pun intended. But it's definitely going to be fun to see when these two basically can take off the gloves and be able to beat each other up until they've got nothing left. Kia, you're up first on this one. Who wins the battle of our Ebony Queens?
Hold on 1 second. You said it's going to be a bloodbath. I need Jade Cargill to come back with that all-white outfit and that blood and everything.
Oh, good Lord.
But make it much, 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 much more extreme. I'm going to say it because I feel like nobody else is feeling it except for me, you, Alyssa, Landon, Corbin, I think I'm saying his name correctly. I like Jade.
I can already see the comment at the bottom. Don't be using my government name.
Landon, I like Jade. I really do. But you have to think, I've been a huge Naomi fan. Before she was Naomi, she was Trend. So I kind of watched her come in and do her thing from the start. So, of course, I'm going to pull for the person I've been backing this whole time. And that's going to be Naomi. That's going to be what it's going to be. That's my pick.
Now, see, it's really hard to pick against Jade Cargill in this particular match. And the only reason why is because we know where Jade goes next. And it's going to be really tough to look at her. Doesn't matter if she's facing Trish. It doesn't matter if she's facing Tiffany or even potentially Naomi, although I think that would give her more than enough incentive to go ahead and get up for that one. But you don't want Jade looking weak by coming off a loss at Evolution. So the only way I feel like Naomi can win this match is there's got to be some significant crook behind the end of it. Jade would have to lose in a way that is going to still make Jade look very strong in the process. I don't know if that comes from Naomi just going way over the top and taking advantage of Jade's inexperience, maybe playing on Jade's, lack of experience in comparison to Trinity's, and being able to, exploit that to take advantage of the opportunity. And also, as I said, you've still got Bianca sitting out there as a potential wild card, in terms of that. Also, you look at someone like, a Jada Parker or a Kalani Jordynne, who has all the capabilities of being able to be with someone who could maybe get behind a heel Naomi, and form a little faction there. There's already been numerous comparisons between Kalani Jordynne and Naomi, especially using the same finisher at the end of matches. So I wouldn't be shocked, especially at Evolution, if you don't see potentially someone like that from NXT maybe join up to help Naomi in a match similar to this and start setting up your next budding rivalry. But I do think that, you need to get this series one apiece. So I think with Jade taking WrestleMania, I think Naomi takes this one here, and there's going to be a third one somewhere.
Okay, I'm taking Naomi too. We're going Naomi across the board.
Naomi across the board. I love it. I mean, and like I said, yes, I am a huge Naomi fan. No, anybody who knows me knows this. That is my girl. I'll take a bullet for her. However, this is why
DeMario comes for you in the comments, and we don't.
I don't give a shit. Bring it. Okay. You know what? You want to go this way? Okay. You can talk Naomi. We'll talk Jada Parker too. All right, and we'll go back and forth on this one. End of the day, though. I love what Jade Cargill has become. I love the fact that they have let her venture out on her own, away from Bianca, away from Naomi, and she has been able to prosper. And, yes, you can see it. She's still wet behind the ears in terms of her experience in singles competition, but she is up with people. She is getting a chance to compete against people who are keeping her looking great along the way. Naomi, is very similar, as much as I hate to say it, to Natalya, the consummate veteran, who if you put her in the ring with anyone, she is going to make sure that match stays on point. So I really feel like Jade has come a long way because of this, and ultimately, regardless of how they feel in storyline, they're each making each other better, even with Naomi kind of in the late stages of her career at this point. And so that will move us to our last match on the card. It is our main event, or at least what we project it's going to be. And that is for the Women's World Championship. Similar to how Tiffany got to handpick her opponent and chose Trish Stratus, Io Sky said, I want to face the best. I want to face Rhea Ripley. So it will be Mommy getting a shot to win back the championship that she has made a big deal and made the top women's prize in all of wrestling, at least women's wrestling, maybe even just wrestling period, as she battles the one person who she just has never been able to figure out, and that is Io Sky. Io is a career 6-0 against Rhea Ripley, including a win to win the World Championship over her earlier this year on Monday Night Raw, which cost Rhea, at least initially, a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. She ultimately was able to get in with her and Bianca Belair, but Io able to go over in that match too over both of them. Granted, she did pin Belair and not Rhea in that match. So now you look at them finally getting the one-on-one, and it was Io that asked for Rhea to be her opponent. Now, of course, you wonder, is it truly a perspective of, yes, I'm facing the best of the best, but also at the same time, both of them are well aware of the win-loss records between each other, and Io knows full well that Rhea has been the one puzzles that she's been able to figure out that seemingly no one else, maybe outside of Liv Morgan, has been able to figure out. But Rhea somehow just can't get past Io. Is this finally that moment she gets over the hump, or is this just another notch in Io's belt on this what has been a very surprising but also fun title run as we head to SummerSlam?
I mean, you can't ignore the record. 6 matches and I had your number the whole time. It's a little wild.
And it's not like all these 6 are recent either. I mean, this goes all the way back to Mae Young Classic 2017. Yeah. You know, Rhea for years has had shots at Io and just can't get by her.
Rhea has type of dominance that you look at and you're like, wow, this girl, she can do everything. Like, what has she not done? Thus, more of the
list of what she hasn't done is shorter than the list of what she has.
Literally, I'm like, what has she not done? Beat Io. But
that's really honestly about it.
So, I mean, like, it gets to a stage where it's like, all right, well, girl, it's time to put up or shut up. When it comes to Io, she's just like, hey, I respect the fact that she still says that Rhea is the best. Because she could have picked anybody. She could have been like Tiffany and been like, all right, let me call her Legend. Let me show y'all another little,
you know, exactly.
Pimping cap, you know. So it makes you curious to see how this one will go.
Well, we definitely, you know, again, the win-loss record notwithstanding, I mean, I think you arguably are in a match that is supposed to be filled with the best women in the world competing in a single arena at a single, you know, PLE. Arguably, these are 2 of probably the top 5 in the world right now. You know, with Io very much knocking on the door for that number 1 ranking. Rhea's right there in competition. She was the number 1 a couple of years ago. You know, I think 2 years ago. She's been in the top 5, top 10. So, you know, especially when you're looking at the other side, you know, of course, we all are aware of, you know, All In being with AEW this weekend. You've got Mercedes Moné and Timeless Toni Storm, who have been the top 2 over there. You can arguably, with pretty good confidence, say that these are the best 2 that WWE has to offer right now. And the ability to be able to put on easily a 30 to 35 minute classic between the 2, because we saw, obviously, Io can go for days, and we saw Rhea's longevity if you go back a couple of years ago at WrestleMania when she went over 30 minutes with Charlotte.
Yeah.
So we know they both can go the distance, and we know they both can put on a fantastic match. I think this has all the makings of one of the better main events of the year.
Y'all pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. I don't know what more.
Yeah, what y'all said.
Right. I mean, I love both. What can you not say? I think their accomplishments speak for themselves. So it's not really much to harp on or talk about when, if you go online and you look at their accomplishments and you look at the fact, yes, Rhea has not had Io's number, But for the one time that we sit here and say she don't got her number, she probably had figured something out in the background. Okay, 1 + 1 is 2. She gonna be doing that math. It's gonna be that math. But it's gonna be, all right. We ain't doing this. I don't know. But Io, on the other hand, I feel like she's laughing in Rhea's face. I feel like she is literally, as they're fighting, she is laughing in Rhea's face. And it's no form of disrespect, because again, she said Rhea is one of the best. Well, I'm gonna need Rhea to be the best and beat the best, because I feel like Io is honestly the best as well. So you've got two people who, one has your number, the other one's trying to still figure it out. It's like missing a digit and having to pick up phone and call and then hang up again.
Oh, well, definitely, I'll have to figure out that analogy. I haven't heard that one before, but, either way, I mean, we all know what exactly we're looking at here. This is one that, when it's all said and done, is going to be one that is going to be very quickly probably finding its way onto our Match of the Year candidates. Not necessarily saying it's going to be, but it's definitely got all the makings of one. And these are two that the one thing I can respect about it before getting to the selections is the fact that both of them have removed all alignments with any stables, any groups, any former tag partners, everything else. Io's got nothing to do anymore with Asuka or with Kairi Sane. Damage control, she's done with that. Rhea's obviously been long done with Liv Morgan, but even with other people that she has reluctantly teamed with, she has essentially said, both sides have pretty much said, like, look, this is going to be just us, and may the best person win. So the one thing I look forward to is this is a match where, I can't even picture a scenario where Naomi tries to cash in this match. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, at least when Seth did the Heist of the Century, at least Seth had beef with both Brock and with Roman at the time. Naomi's got no reason to be involved in this match, even if she did want to cash in. So this is going to be one-on-one with both of them bringing their absolute A game to close out the all-women's card. And, of course, whoever does get the dub goes to SummerSlam as the Women's World Champion, no doubt to get one of the main event matches. You don't know who your opponent is yet because, that's still to be determined as we get closer to it. But also at the same time, you get that headlining moment of being the person that caps off the Atlanta weekend with all the matches and all of the glory of being the one holding the Women's World Championship at the end of the night. So with that, we do move to our official picks. Kia, you're up first on this one to wrap things up. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. We know the win-loss records, but Women's World Championship, who ends Evolution still or new world champ? What do you think?
Io goes for lucky number 7. Well, excuse me. Io goes for the win again over Rhea. Nothing against Rhea. I just feel like, again, she has her number. Unless Rhea comes out with something nobody's ever seen before, it's Io. All the way.
Gotcha. I think this is going to be the one where I think Rhea is going to finally dig down a little bit deeper and is going to find that little bit of difference. I don't necessarily think she needs to find a new form of brutality, but I think that Io maybe has gone into this a little cocky and a little bit overconfident because she's had Rhea's number. And I've used the sports analogy before. There's always, doesn't matter how much of a Hall of Fame career you have, there's always that one person that isn't necessarily a Hall of Famer. In this case, I'd argue they both should be. But there's always that one person that somehow you can just never beat them. Just doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how great your resume is, somehow they just pull together a resume and they just somehow always have your number. Io has been that one person for Rhea, but I do think this is the moment where she reestablishes herself as the mommy of old and also as the best woman, not just necessarily on the Raw roster, but also potentially in WWE all the way around. I don't think 7 happens here. I think Rhea finally figures it out and she gets back her world title.
This is me ending twice.
Mm-hmm.
Picked out of order. I'm gonna take Rhea too. I mean, you can't beat me 7 times in a row. At that point, it's just
six is one thing.
6 is one thing. 7 is just disrespectful. At this stage, at that point, I would be talking to people in the back. What's going on?
What's the bigger picture?
What is the bigger picture here? Honestly, that would be.
Where you at, Kobe?
Literally, come on. But no, I think this is where Rhea finally does figure it out. I've been saying this the last 2 times they've been fighting. So eventually I'm gonna be right. Eventually.
This is the Cody Seth thing all over again. Let's just keep riding that train, and we're just gonna keep losing points.
It's fine. It's fine.
God damn.
Either way, yeah.
So Rhea, and then you're going Io. Alrighty.
What I said.
Well, either way, that wraps up our Evolution preview and prediction show. Thank you for joining us again. Also, make sure you check out our Great American Bash, and if you're going to be in Atlanta Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be there virtually the entire weekend pretty much in Atlanta. So many photo ops, so many media opportunities. Io Sky is on our list of people to see, so we're looking forward to meeting her. Rhea, the only one to sell out all 6 of her groups. So, it's Mommy. What else? And the thing about it is she was the most expensive of all of them, too, and she still sold out, before anyone else did. So, it tells you the appeal she comes with. So it's not just about what you do in the ring. It's also the star power you bring outside the ring, and what a weekend to showcase that off. But, ladies, parting words before we get ready to call it an evening and then get ready for media and photo ops tomorrow.
Looking forward to the weekend. Make sure you drink plenty of water. It's hot out here.
Wear your stick.
Yeah.
Extra stick, please.
Chicken nuggets. I'm the dom at this point. Not like just in this moment because I want my chicken nuggets.
She ready to eat?
I'm ready
Again.
Again.
Alrighty. Hey, I gotta eat again too. I'm ready to go. All right, Alyssa, take us home.
Bye.